All right, so hey, you're back here at Drift Smart. Your host, Rome Charpentier. I'm here with Matt Field, a legendary Pro 1 Formula Drift driver. As you guys know, he drives a Corvette. I know you guys have been asking about the Corvette. This is the Corvette Master. You should have seen how many were here. How many Corvettes were here today?
We had 8 all driving at
8
once.
driving at once in tandem. Yeah, I saw the tandem photo.
In tandem. The days of S chassis outnumbering everything are over.
Gone.
And the Corvettes are here.
Actually, I think they're probably more expensive than a Corvette nowadays.
S chassis, absolutely.
Dude, that's insane. With no horsepower. So, all right, so he's gonna explain to us why a Corvette, why he chose a Corvette, and really what the strengths are, because these Corvettes are coming up hot. So, what do we got? Why did you choose a Corvette in the end?
All right, so the first thing, it's clear and obvious, especially because you are an LS believer.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
We all run them.
It's great that you can buy a car and you don't have to do any work in swapping an engine. Because I don't know about you, but the worst thing to do is work on your car. The best thing to do is drive it. Today was awesome. We got to drive all day, but tomorrow we'll be in the shop working our asses off. So that is obviously the worst part. It's a love-hate thing. So it comes with an LS. That's number one, right? The number two is that it's relatively strong. Like, it's not like a BMW where, well, you just have to weld the subframe together and do this and do that, and then all of a sudden it becomes a decent chassis. I get it, it's good. But this, you literally just do nothing. It comes with a limited slip differential. It comes with a strong gearbox, and is in its most basic form, you only need a couple things. You put knuckles on it, a handbrake, and coilovers, and you're good to go. Like 3 things. You can do a seat, steering wheel, but just those 3 basic things, and you're out there having a great time. Like the majority of the Corvettes that are out here, all are very, very simple cars, and then you have everything in between, right? So that's the reason why we decided to adopt it, and also made in America. It's American support from American companies. You can literally go on Summit Racing and order most of the racing parts that you need for it. Oh, left-hand window? Boom, buy it on Summit Racing. So there's a lot of strengths in the ability to get the car together quickly, keep the amount of work to a minimum, and get as much drive time as possible.
See, and that's one of the key things. It actually starts out as a race car, which most of these, like a 240, did not start as a race car. They started as a grocery getter.
Yes.
Which we'll talk to Odie about his grocery getter with high horsepower later. But yeah, these are actual purpose-built race cars. So what would be maybe, let's say like a downside, what would be a downside on the Corvettes?
Definitely a downside is the fact that the transmission is in the back. So it's only a downside because the amount of work that it takes to change a clutch. A normal car, BMW or a 240 or most of these race cars out here, you can have the gearbox out in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Even on my race Corvette, if I have to pull the gearbox and get to the clutch, it's like, all right, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Right,
okay.
so, and that's on a race car. And on a regular stock vet, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're just a normal mechanic and you don't have a lift, it'll take you probably 8 or 9 hours to like do a clutch job, maybe 10. So just to put things in perspective, right? And this is what I like to tell people, because people are like, they're so hard to work on. They're not hard, it's just a lot, right? So to do one thing, maybe it's 10 steps, but all those 10 steps are relatively easy. It's not like removing the shifter clip on a BMW.
Oh yeah,
that's hard.
That could be 10 hours by itself.
Right, there's nothing like that, but there's just like,
a lot to do.
You gotta pull the subframe, you gotta pull the calipers, you gotta pull this, you gotta pull that to get to the torque tube, the exhaust has to come off, right? It's just a lot of things, a lot of bolts, but relatively easy things to do. But downside, because unless you have a lift and you're a well-qualified mechanic, you're gonna be a little lost.
Awesome, awesome. So on your practice one, because I noticed he kind of tricked us. He trolled us with this. This I thought was his pro car, and he's like, no, this is my practice to my practice car.
Yeah.
Because his practice car we were following, and I was like, oh, that's a little different line. Who was driving your practice car today?
My dad.
His dad was driving the practice car.
I have a black C5 that is like my practice, like smash into each other, have a good time, late night kind of car. And then this is the car that I do like grid life, and I get to drive with the big boys with the big boy cars. So it's a serious car. But yeah, it was awesome to be able to provide my dad, like, hey dad, you want to drive my C5? Go out and just rip, here's tires, here's just everything, go and have a good time. And he's only drifted a handful of times, so he was a little intimidated being out here with all the big boys.
Dude, he was killing it though. He was straight killing it.
I'm so happy.
Hell yeah.
He comes from off-road racing, so he knows what he's doing behind the wheel, but it's, oh, here you go, horse thief mile with a bunch of pros. Like, it's a little scary.
Oh yeah, by the way, don't go off.
Yeah,
because it's death.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll get high-centered for sure.
Awesome, awesome, absolutely. And maybe like one more. Oh, look, from the other episode.
Legend.
We got the Legend Taka.
Yeah.
Talking drift school, all of it. Yeah, we already got him. He did all the 8.6 stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So he was 8.6 master over there.
That was a long list of cons, huh? Long list of cons on the Corolla. On the 8.6.
Yeah, long negatives. So what are some strong positives? I know you said it's already a drift car. It already comes with a power plant that's designed to hold horsepower, but what's like some of the behind the scenes real big things you like? Like what's powerful there?
Oh, wait.
Hey, look, there's his dad right there, and there's the backup.
All the Corvettes.
The Corvette heaven here.
All right, so something that I just absolutely love about a Corvette, it's like, and it's kind of grow on me, because before it was like the only car that I thought looked good was a 240, right? That was it, just Sylvia. But I mean, look at the thing. They're freaking sick.
Let's
dude.
go walk around this thing.
They're sick. Like, they're low. You got all the little accessories. Oh, you just buy this, you buy this, you buy that. It's just a very simple, actually a good car to look. This looks like a race car now. But look at that. Look at that beautiful, amazing looking street car, you know?
They look extremely nice. Like it's kind of crazy what you guys do to these things.
It's a simple, elegant car, and yeah, it just happens that it rips.
So what hydro? I see a hydro in here. What hydro and knuckles and stuff do you run?
Right, so this is all Part Shop Max, everything, the coilovers, the knuckles. This one has the same suspension arms as my race car, but the beautiful thing about this is they've created a bolt-in C6 hydraulic handbrake. And it, literally, all the interior works, all the plastic works. The only downside is you lose a cup holder.
A cup holder? Oh no, the cup holder.
No cup holder, dude. But I'll tell you,
So that's a downside. That's a downside.
No, you know what they did? They 3D printed me one.
That's gonna go on top?
It goes right there, it fits, yeah.
Look at that. They're fixing the problems that we request. So absolutely. Look, I like the mirrors.
Yeah, look at this. Some hot boy touches here.
Man, I like the little yellow trim on the bottom.
Yeah.
The rotophores. Man, this thing's looking good. Looking very, very fresh. What's this mechanism back here?
Okay, yeah, so this is
that factory?
no.
Okay, so not factory.
I don't know if you guys saw, but we filmed that POV footage before with my race car rear window, and then also with Odie and I testing here. You were here that day that we did it. And a big pole with the 360 GoPro goes on the back, and it's counterweighted so that it literally goes the opposite of the way that you're drifting, like a video game view. So it gives the look of some crazy stuff going on, and then when you have a pole and you have somebody like you transitioning right underneath my bumper, amazing footage.
So what is this one for then?
Oh yeah, well this is a backup camera, dude.
Does it work?
Oh yeah, it works.
What? Oh yeah, show us the backup camera.
Oh, it's like, it's not set right now.
Oh, it's not set. It's okay. I believe him still.
I know.
I didn't even notice. You actually have a cage in this one.
Yeah, cage and a deck. So yeah, my battery died this morning, and then I have to like.
No, it's okay. We believe you. It's standard. Oh, is the roof clear?
Yeah, it's see-through. It's
It's
glass.
a see-through roof.
Yeah.
This cage is really nice. I'm not gonna knock on your pro car, but I think this cage is nicer than the pro car cage.
Okay, so my competition car, I built in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because it's a competition car, and that's what happens.
That's how we all do.
And the difference is that is a 3-bend A-pillar.
Yes.
So you can only get it so tight, and this is a 4-bend A-pillar. So there's a big difference.
This thing
You can
is
barely tell the difference in the cage.
super nice. Well, normally
Yeah.
Corvettes have these funky cages that come out.
Yep.
So do you build them in-house at Drift Cave?
Everything in-house at Drift Cave. We actually just built another one. That car right behind us over there, that red C6, that has the same cage as this.
This thing is nice.
And yeah, full interior. So that's what we like to do with the Vets, because it's not like a old it's not an old car where the interior is already half rotted out. It's still a nice car with a nice interior, so we try to keep as much as possible.
Drift Cave, I like all the carbon. He turned me onto the carbon. You'll see this. I have it all on my car as well. Do you guys make the door panels?
We made the door panels too, yeah.
So you guys make everything. So you're basically like building full cars now.
That's it. The only thing I don't do is body and paint. I don't do that.
Yeah,
we
but
do fiberglass and do all that, but we don't do painting.
Yeah, it's kind of messy though.
It's too much for us.
So this thing is super cool. So the way this car sits right now, all decked out, how much power does it make?
It makes 500 wheel.
500 wheel. What does your pro car make?
970, 980.
So around 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah, 1,000 wheel.
Awesome.
Half.
Yeah, this is half. So this is something a little more manageable for people.
This is the car that bridges the gap between what people first buy when they have a Corvette and then the aspirations, right?
You got it.
The aspirations are the race car, but it's just, that's so ridiculous and unnecessary unless you're competing at a top level of drifting. Most people, this is more than enough car. It'll go out, you can probably win Pro-Am, you can drive your ass off, you can smoke 20 tires a day easily, load it up, and drive it again the next day.
So what would something like this cost, just in drift world?
Right, I think probably I have 45 grand into it.
Yeah, see, that's not bad.
And that's and the car's not cheap, right? You gotta remember the car's not cheap, the engine's not cheap, the gearbox isn't cheap.
Okay, so for people watching and people, hold on. We have a loud 240 right here. A loud 240. So for people watching, what would you recommend? Hold on one more second. There we go. All right, we're good to go. What would you recommend as like to look for in buying one of these?
So if you're gonna get a C5, doesn't matter, they're all the same.
So, okay.
Yeah, so if your budget C5 money, like under 10 grand, any of them doesn't matter. Literally. Perfect. Yeah. If you decide you want a C6, a little bit nicer exterior, non-Silverado interior, you know, actual Corvette, then what you really want to do is just make sure that you get a 2006 and newer. So this car was a 2005. I didn't know anything when I first got this car, so it has a weak differential. So it took me some time to source the parts to upgrade the diff, and then by the time I spent the money on all of that, I could have just bought a newer car. So save the money, try to find an LS3, so 2008, but if you can afford an LS3, you got to get an LS2, which is no problem. That's what this is. Just shoot for a 2006.
Perfect, 2006.
Yep.
So, okay, awesome. Well, hey, it was awesome spending time with you. Wait a second, one more thing. Look at this. What is this?
Oh, that's the demo helmet.
This is a PPK demo helmet.
Yeah.
I got one of these. These are pretty flashy. Yeah. This is a great looking helmet.
Now look at this, Jared. This is the best part. Let me show you guys the best part of this whole helmet, right? You get to smile at your boys and make funny faces, and then also...
Bam! Got the visor to get protected.
Just in case you throw rocks at me again.
Hey. This guy destroyed my windshield and then blames me for it. It was him with his sticky tires throwing rocks down the straightaway. But that is an amazing helmet. Thank you for the bonus footage, Matt. It's always a pleasure talking to you. You're one of my drivers that I absolutely look up to. It's a pleasure driving with. It's insane. So thanks for the invite coming out here. This was the first time of Drift What's the name of this
Party
event?
with Drift Cave.
Yeah, Party with Drift Cave.
I don't know what we're gonna call it, but this was like our holiday party. So I hope everyone had a good time at their own holiday party, but I think ours was probably a little bit better.